You know what I'm not okay with?
What?
Global warming. But also how short this series is.
Yes.
Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is...
Okay.
And today we are reviewing I'm Not Okay With This, a Netflix original TV series.
Sydney is a teenage girl navigating the trials and tribulations of high school while dealing with the complexities of her family, her budding sexuality, and mysterious superpowers just beginning to waken deep within her.
So there are 8 episodes, and they're very short episodes, about 20 minutes, roundabout there. The thing about this series is that it leaves you wanting more in every episode. It's very good. It's very bingeable. You probably will watch it straight through.
Yeah.
And if you like nostalgia stuff, you're definitely going to have a lot of that. In this, it's set in
Today?
the modern today, but it feels like you're watching a love letter to the 80s. It feels like you're watching Breakfast Club and Carrie.
Yeah.
It pulls from so many different, I guess, genres. But what makes this really good is the protagonist and the side characters, but particularly the protagonist. Tell me about it, babe, because I know you really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I really did.
Yeah.
Apart from the superpowers, it did kind of remind me a little bit of my own experiences in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And how I just love people who are just a bit quirky and a bit out there and a little bit like off the typical normal trajectory. So I always gravitate towards the weirdos. And I think this series is just, it's full of wonderfully interesting characters.
Yeah. It is based on the book, so I think that's particularly why it's strong in the storyline-wise. So they've adapted it pretty well. They have some really rich material there. Sometimes I really don't like inner monologuing to drive the story forward or to do exposition, but I feel like it works here. So you get to hear the inner thoughts of the protagonist, but that's really almost a different character. As you get herself, who's acting really well, but her inner thoughts are almost like this separate character because she's explaining what's going on, but it's quirky, it's funny, she's reacting sarcastically, with emotionally with how she feels at the time, and so you really get to feel the insights. You see her emotion react sometimes, and the opposite thing is going on inside her head, which I think is a really nice, almost a juxtaposition, but it's not always that way, but it works really well in this.
You've already said it's like an homage to the 80s. So the soundtrack obviously pulls on that a lot as well. So you have one of the characters who loves to play vinyl, and he has everything on videotape, and he's just a really interesting guy. But because of his sort of retroness, you get to experience some of the retro music as well, which is really cool.
Yeah. I really like the characters in this. I think they're well defined. And again, I think that's probably because of the book. There are a few tropes that you get in a series like this. There's the triangles of the love stories. And one person likes another person, the other person likes another person, the other person doesn't know that the other person likes her. And you get that kind of going around the circle. It's a traditional writing format that everybody uses. So you can't really go, ugh. But if you're expecting something fresh and completely unique in that way, that's not what this is.
No.
But where this works really well is the quirkiness of it. So there are a lot of superhero series, from Heroes, TV series, from the MCU, but this one takes the superhero stuff and kind of puts it on the back burner. Although it is very interesting and you always want to know what's going on with it, it's what the protagonist's character is like that makes you really feel for her when she goes through the supernatural, superpowered things, without going into spoiler territory. Definitely leaves you wanting more, and you're going to be very frustrated when you're like, that's just the start, and why are they so short?
Oh, no.
Why are these episodes so short? Give us more, damn it.
But I think it really works that the episodes are so short, because it's like little bite-sized deliciousness that you just like, I want some more.
I mean, it's clearly there's a demographic for the younger generation of, say, like late teens, but it clearly affected us as well. So I think it's done cleverly to do a demographic that's quite wide, because it'll be people that are growing up and coming into their own identities. It'll be people that have already grown up and still trying to figure out who they are and remembering things what they did in high school and think totally, that's definitely me. And it's very relatable with different types of characters. And there's also an anti-hero type of storyline that if you root for the underdog, not just with the main protagonist, but some of the geeky guys on the sidelines, then you're rooting for them as well, which I think is very clever. So that's intertwined well in the story. I think you're going to love this. I'm going to give it an A. It's a solid series.
Yep.
You're going to give it an A?
Yeah, solid A.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you think. What are your favorite kind of growing up stories, coming of age stories like The Breakfast Club? Which ones are your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much as always for watching, but most of all, until next time.
Live long and Tuesday.